Body language is one of the oldest, most natural, and most powerful tools people use to communicate. It silently reveals our feelings, thoughts, and intentions that we cannot express with words and often are not even aware of. In fact, we all speak this silent language every day without realizing it. A person's posture, gaze, use of hands, or positioning of the body reveals a great deal about their mood, interest, and intentions. Body language goes beyond words, opening a window into a person's inner world. When it comes to attraction and interest, body language becomes particularly powerful. This is because such feelings often occur subconsciously. When a person is interested in another, their body often reveals it, without them realizing. Therefore, there is an unspoken language of attraction between two people. In this language, a small touch, a long look, or even just the orientation of the body carries great meaning. Words may be silent, but the body speaks. And this speech is often clearer, more honest, and more powerful than words. Understanding a woman's interest in a man also often involves reading these silent signals. Women generally prefer to express their interest through body language rather than saying it outright. Playing with their hair, touching their hands, the way they sit, even the direction they point their feet can reflect their inner feelings. However, these signs are not always obvious. It requires careful observation, because attraction is often expressed silently and subtly. When a woman is interested in a man, she usually turns her body toward him. This shows that she is open to communicating with him and feels comfortable around him. If her posture is open and her face is turned toward you, this is a sign of both interest and trust. Conversely, if her body is turned away from you, her arms are crossed, or her face is turned away, this may indicate a desire to keep her distance or disinterest. Body language is the silent but honest interpreter of emotions. Leaning is also one of the strongest indicators of attraction. If a woman leans slightly toward you while talking, it usually shows that she is listening to you attentively, is interested in what you have to say, and wants to establish closeness. This small movement can convey much more than words, because leaning in is not only a desire to close the physical distance, but also the emotional distance. Combined with eye contact, this becomes a powerful signal of attraction. Physical distance is a very important indicator in the language of attraction. If a woman is interested in you, she will unconsciously stand or sit closer to you. Reducing the distance between you expresses closeness and trust. Conversely, if she pulls away when you approach, it may indicate discomfort or disinterest. Therefore, maintaining or reducing distance is one of the most effective ways to understand a person's comfort level and level of attraction. Sometimes it's not big gestures, but small details that say it all. For example, a woman turning her feet toward you while sitting is a strong sign of her interest. The body usually follows where the mind is directed. Similarly, small behaviors, such as playing with hair, touching the wrists, or lightly touching your arm during a conversation, occur subconsciously. These movements express a desire for closeness and contact. Mirroring behavior is also quite impressive in the language of attraction. This is when a person unconsciously mimics the movements, gestures, or posture of the person opposite them. If you take a sip of your drink and they do the same, or if you cross your legs and they do the same shortly after. This is a subconscious sign of harmony. The human brain tends to synchronize with people it connects with. This is a silent way of saying, I understand you. I'm on the same wavelength as you. Mirroring is not limited to romantic attraction. It plays an important role in friendships, business relationships, and social interactions. However, in a romantic context, this behavior is a silent indicator of strong chemistry between two people. If this mirroring becomes mutual, meaning you also unconsciously mimic their movements, it means an unconscious synchronization has formed between you. This is one of the clearest indicators of both emotional compatibility and attraction. Laughter is also part of body language. If a woman genuinely laughs with you, it doesn't just mean she's having fun. It also means she enjoys being with you and feels comfortable. A genuine laugh usually comes with a sparkle in the eyes, relaxed shoulders, and a natural posture. Such laughs convey much more warmth than words. A shared sense of humor can create a strong bond between two people. Laughter is one of the most natural keys that opens the door to emotional closeness. However, correctly interpreting all these signs requires attention and respect. Body language is never an exact science. Every person's cultural background, personal habits, and character are different. A gesture that is considered an attraction indicator in one culture may be perceived as completely neutral or even negative in another culture. Therefore, when interpreting body language, it is always necessary to consider the context. The way to prevent misunderstandings is through careful observation and empathy. It is important to remember that body language is only one part of the picture. Verbal communication, behavior, and emotional context are also important for understanding how someone truly feels. It is impossible to accurately understand someone's interest or intentions based solely on body language. Furthermore, it is essential to respect personal boundaries and consent in all interactions. Observation is for understanding the other person, not for pushing their boundaries. Real attraction is based on mutual comfort, respect, and trust. Understanding body language is an important skill, not only in flirting or romantic relationships, but in all areas of life. Learning to read the room in social settings makes human relationships deeper, more meaningful, and safer. Noticing silent signals makes it easier to understand how the other person truly feels about you. This helps you build healthier, more open, and sincere relationships. As a result, you now know that there is a hidden meaning behind every glance, every touch, every small movement you see. Women speak with their bodies, not their words, and most men lose because they don't understand this silent conversation. Because women don't say their feelings, but they always show them. With their eyes, their posture, their tilt, their distance, all of these carry a clear message when read correctly. Yes, I'm interested, or no, stay away. A man who understands this language is one step ahead of the others, because he no longer needs words. He understands what a woman feels without her even realizing it. You notice that split-second delay in eye contact, the attraction she feels when she turns her body towards you, the inner interest behind a smile. Now you know the secret rules of the game. Do you know what most men do? They believe what the woman says. But the smart man pays attention not to what the woman says, but how she says it. Words are defense. The body tells the truth. A woman may say, "We're just friends," but her body is already telling a different story. If her eyes linger a second too long, if she leans in closer, if she plays with her fingers while listening to you, it's your job to understand that story. This awareness gives you an advantage because now you're not just talking, you're observing. Now you're not just hearing, you're feeling. While other men in a room get caught up in words, you read the silent signals. The game turns in your favor because you are now beyond words. But remember, this knowledge is not a weapon. It is a tool for awareness. It is used not to manipulate women, but to understand and connect. True attraction is built on respect and mutual trust. But with this awareness, you will stand out from the hundreds of men who follow the wrong signals and can't decipher what they feel. You will be the one who sees among those who don't hear. Now you know. Attraction doesn't start with words. It starts with the eyes, with posture, with that silent but intense energy. If a woman leans toward you, turns her shoulders toward you, doesn't avert her gaze, at that moment everything has begun. And when you notice that signal, you are no longer just another random person. You are the man who has cracked the code, deciphered the game, seen behind the scenes. Become a master of the unspoken language. Learn to see, not just listen. Because in this world, the real power lies in understanding what is left unsaid. What if they notice the signals you're sending? Who is really influencing whom? Who is thinking about whom? Think, because the story doesn't end here. On the contrary, it gets even more exciting. Like, comment, and subscribe, because in the next video, things could change completely. Maybe you'll encounter a surprise much closer than you expected.